Hello and welcome back to another video. This is the MAILeS Jogan Kai from 2022. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that part, so I just call it MAILeS. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, this is the Jogan Kai, which is actually one of my favorite is it a mobile suit? This is one of my favorite, whatever these are called, anime? I don't remember, but, nor do I know how to pronounce it, because I'm not really too into the series, but I know that this is one of my favorites from the show. By the way, this is a kit, from the, Kyokai Senki lineup. So, not your standard typical Gundam. This is no polycaps at all. This is just plastic on plastic. Oh, well, polycaps are plastic, but not your standard plastic. Again, this is one of my favorites. I just love the head design, honestly. Oh, the head design. These figures are taller than your standard size Gundam, so it might be hard to get some stuff in frame. Yeah. So, appearance-wise, we can get on with the stickers here. This is the sticker sheet. So, number 1 is the line down the chest, like down the center of the chest all the way down. That is one sticker. Number 2 is 2 stickers, and that is for the sides of the pistons in the chest right there. 3 and 4 are for these stickers around back right here and on the other side right there. Number 5 and 6, these ones right here, are for the arms right here and right here, which they wrap all the way around the inside as well. Number 7, these downward arrows are for the sides of these bits on the legs right here. You have the outer side and the inner side for both sides of each leg. And then you have 8. There's 4 of those, which is actually the front of the leg. So right here, here, and around back as well, right there. And number 9 and 10, might not be on here. I forgot what these ones look like. I genuinely forgot what these ones look like. Goodness. Okay, 10 is the sight on the Gatling here, right there. And I genuinely forgot where 9 is. 9 is 2 stickers, I believe. And it's a dark, it's one of the dark colors on here, so I might not be able to find it. Oh well, best to move on from that anyways, so. But that's gonna bother me now. I don't know where that sticker is. Anyways, that is the sticker sheet. Moving on to the articulation now. This thing has a lot of articulation. By the way, no stickers on the head. I don't think. I also have another amime. I'm gonna call it an amime. I have another one Or MAILeS, I guess. I don't know. They're called MAILeS, I think, right? But I have another one, and there are no stickers in the head build, which is very, very nice. I love to see that. Anyways, articulation. You have a double jointed, well, technically triple jointed, because there's a joint up here, and inside where the chest, down to the chest is, there is a ball joint and a swivel up top leading into the neck. So you do have quite a bit of rotation. That's all the way up, and this is all the way down. You can do a full 360. And what I like about this neck design is actually the way that it pegs, not pegs, but the way that it connects to the head is on a swivel, which means rotating the head will not rotate the neck out of proportion. Because you know, when you rotate sometimes like a 360, the neck kind of is not centered with the head. In this case, it's always centered, which is very, very nice. I do love that. So there is the head and the neck. Moving down to the chest, we have these little flaps on each side, like that. You have your piston gimmick right here. You have your 360-degree rotation. You have forward joints. You have a swivel here, 2 swivels right here to extend, and you have a ball joint here. I would say be careful with these because so far I haven't seen an issue, but these are C-clips, so you might want to be careful. I'm not sure how bad or good that they are on these. I have owned the, again, I have another one of these, so this one I've owned for longer, but so far no issues. So moving on to the arms. Oh wait, the shoulder, you do have an upwards shoulder joint. This plate does get in the way. You can get a little more, including that joint that's behind that part of the chest. So it is a double jointed shoulder bend. You do get a 360 degrees at the bicep swivel, and a decent, like a very good decent swivel up on the elbow. It is a single point, it's a single jointed bend. Just move the shoulder out of the way. You can't really do a 360 because of how the shoulder piece is designed. And you also get a swivel here, which is very interesting. Of course, this is not your standard Gundam, so you do have a swivel, random 360 swivel without the hand, and the hand is a standard ball joint. Moving down to the torso, or the waist, yeah, well, torso and waist. So there is a swivel up here that I did miss. It kind of rocks side to side, kind of giving that Giga Chad walk, if you will. There is another swivel going up forward. It can go far. It can go that far. And it can go back that far. So not really back too much, but I'm okay with that. Down connecting to the waist, you do get a ball joint right there. That's the ball joint. That's what the inside looks like. Now moving on to the leg. Oh wait, no. This rear flap has 3 points of articulation. You have this joint right here. That's like inside right there. That's one joint. You have another joint here. And another joint here. This joint and this joint are C-clips, so you might want to be careful with that. There's a C-clip right there. This joint right here is fine. It doesn't really, I don't really know the purpose of this joint actually. It's kind of there in my opinion. My only reason that it could have this is probably due to stability when it's using the Gatling gun. Anyways, moving on to the legs, you have potentially 360 rotation if the upper body was not in the way. So that's the kick forward and the kick backwards. You would have to move it around the rear skirt, but that should be fine. Moving on to the, okay, you do have a swivel here. Decent swivel, very good swivel. Actually, now that I think about it, my Byakuchi here, this is what this one is called. This is the Byakuchi. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. This one actually is starting to have loosened joints. I have been messing with it quite a bit. I'm starting to mess with it less, but it is having some loose joints, so I probably would not recommend playing with this too much, because as of right now, because this kit is still brand new, all of the joints are pretty much all tight and stuff. Like, everything is tight, everything's firm, nothing's loose. But on the Byakuchi, it's kind of loose. Anyways, continuing the articulation, you have a single point of knee bend, which is there. It can go up that far, and it can go back that far. So this is probably as humanoid as it's going to get. And moving down to the ankle, we do have a swivel up here. You do have ankle rotation there, and upward rotation there. Back on the heel, you have a flap that you can fold down, which actually goes all the way down like that, so you can give it heels, I guess. And the toe bends are on a swivel. I just hit the camera. Okay. So moving outwards, this is all you're gonna get, which isn't bad. I kind of expected there to be more though, but it's fine. And that is the inner, on the ground, sideways, that's gonna be as forward as you're gonna get. And backward is, of course, the best. So that is the articulation for this Jogan Kai. So yeah, so these kits do have quite a bit of articulation, which is very, very nice. But now let's take a look at the accessories. So you do get a pair of Uzis. I think these are what these are. And as well as a pair of holding hands to go with the, well, no, trigger hands actually, to go with these Uzis. You also get 2 more pairs of hands, which are just the standard holding / fist hands. You also get a extended version of the rear flap. And of course you have the Gatling right here. So to put this on, you want to detach the ammo belt, pull this off, and open this. There's 2 tabs right here, which will tab into the back there, the 2 slots. I hit the camera again. This might be a longer video, I'm not sure. But you want to put this in the back, peg it down, and close the top like so. Oh yeah, in order to store the Uzis, you can just put them in like into this little cubby slot. The tips actually do stick through the holes, so I do recommend being careful with that. Although it's not hard to do, to put these in, but you can stick them in like so, close it back up. And now what you want to do is try to align all 4 of these, because it is somewhat hard to do. Maybe. Depends on who you are, I guess. There we go. Got it. And of course, the ammo belt. What you want to do with this, make sure you have it lined up. I recommend, well, I'm not sure what I recommend. It's kind of hard to see because of all the dark plastic. There's a slot inside of here where it attaches. It's kind of hard to see though, but there's also a slot on the tank round back, which I mostly just use that to have it appear to be attached, because I don't actually know if it's attached up front because it's hard to see that slot. Now, this is the Gatling, well, actually, the rear skirt, you just pull off like so, little frame detail, and you just put this one on to replace that. You also do get a swivel right here, in case you're at like an angle or something. You want to spread out the legs. Actually, you have to do it like this, and then pull these down, pull that down, make sure it's all the way up, pull that down, pull this down, and there you have it, I guess. It's a little weird. I'm not gonna do the arms because, well, I guess I will. I don't want to replace the hands, but that's basically what it looks like. Or more upwards. Oh, actually, that's not fully what it looks like, because this actually extends and covers that angle right there. So this is quite the protected robot. I'm not sure. I don't know what these are called. But yeah, so this is the tank or Gatling mode. Very, very nice. This is probably the best that I've had it, actually, I think. Because it's kind of difficult to align some stuff. And this is actually, yeah, this is quite good. The barrel up here actually does rotate with no mechanism, so you have to like manually rotate it. But yeah, it does rotate very easily as well. But yeah, there is that in Gatling mode. It does tend to fall backwards because the rear flap cannot actually support, it can't really support the entire weight of the mobile suit leaning back. But yeah, that is the Jogan Kai in tank mode. And to revert it back, you of course just take off that, put back the rear flap, and disconnect the ammo belt, disconnect the front. There goes the ammo belt. Open that, disconnect that, and now you want to straighten everything out and get it standing, because we are now moving on to the comparisons. If I can finish this segment right here. Boom. Let's go. Anyways, I'm going to move this back a little bit. So with the comparisons, we have the MAILeS Byakuchi, which is also one of my favorites. My third favorite from the show is actually the Kenbu Zan, which I do not have. I do have a regular Kenbu in backlog, but not the Zan. So yeah, that is the comparisons with the Byakuchi. I'll just put it there for now. And moving on to the Gunpla, we have the high-grade RX-78-2 and the high-grade narrative Gundam C-Packs. So it's about a bit taller than an average high-grade. It's about the same height as the narrative Gundam C-Packs, or around the same height as the Gundam Unicorn. Here is the Master Grade RX-78-2, the first one, I think. So there is that. It's about the height of up to the vents here, or right by the underside of the shoulder. And the reason I did the Master Grade first is because I wanted to show off these figures for the final comparisons, because I recently got these. Or no, well, I recently got one of these. So here is the Bandai line of Gundam action figures, and here is the one that I recently got, which is the Unicorn. And if you're wondering what these action figures are, they are specifically these kinds. These kinds of action figures. And yeah, if you know, these are not the best at posing at all. Anyways, let me know if you want to see a video on these, by the way, because I am glad to make a video on these. So let me know if you want to see that. I'll probably do a poll as well as in my Discord server. Anyways, yeah, so here they are, and pretty good comparison, honestly. Anyways, that is the MAILeS. I almost said Byakuchi. I also almost said Kenbu. This is the Jogan Kai from 2022. Again, this is a kit from Kyokai Senki. And I guess I should have put it in a pose, but I did not put it in a pose. Anyways, I mean, there's not really much to pose about it. I mean, it does a really good articulation. You can just cripple the arm like so. Oh yeah, you can also fold it down so it can be transported in that little truck that's sold separately. I want that truck. Now that I have a Jogan Kai, I want this truck. Anyways, maybe one day I'll get it, but yeah, so these actually are very good at articulation, or putting them in any pose that you want, because of how interesting their joints are. Yeah, so again, also one thing I want to mention, not all of these are the exact same copies of each other. The Byakuchi has 2 points of articulation in the knee. The Jogan Kai only has 1. So there is that. Actually, other than that, they are pretty much the exact same in articulation and build. But it's not a bad thing, because each and every one of them are actually unique in their own way. So I don't think it matters that much. Anyways, MAILeS Jogan Kai. Absolutely recommend this. These are solid builds. They are not going to fall on you. If you do play with them a lot, they do tend to loosen up. Although my Byakuchi here, it's not that loose at all, but I do know that some joints compared to the Jogan Kai have loosened up quite a bit, especially on the waist here, the shoulder joint, swivel, thigh swivel. Yeah, so it's a bit looser than what it would be out of box. But yeah, so anyways, do recommend this. This is a nice kit to have. I do recommend watching the show as well, Kyokai Senki. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like and consider subscribing. And to help out the channel, it'll be greatly appreciated. And again, if you want to see a review on these, I will do it. Or I might do it no matter what. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.